What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, talking about something that I found to be very, very interesting, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Tattoos catching on with the ladies, perhaps. I'm going to try to be classy in this video, try to keep it classy, well, as classy as I can for a video that's actually going to show you a picture of a girl who has Exodia tattooed on her left ass cheek. Yes, my thumbnail is not actually clickbait, that really happened, and I'll talk about it briefly, but this is something that is really interesting to me, and I kept finding these pictures and these posts on Zodiac, the online Yu-Gi-Oh Facebook group, of girls who are getting like these Yu-Gi-Oh tattoos. And usually you see Yu-Gi-Oh tattoos, like you may see one person at like a regionals with a tattoo and you'd be like, oh, okay, that's really cool, got Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, Toon World, or something like that. A lot of times people like to get kind of iconic cards from the original DM, because if you're especially maybe even as old as I am, where I'm 31, those are the ones that you kind of remember when you were in high school, or those are the like iconic cards that you grew up with. But you don't generally see a lot of ladies with tattoos of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, mainly because we all know, especially when it comes to like competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, there just aren't that many girls who play the game, and not in context to like the guys. If you go to a Yu-Gi-Oh event, it's usually like 90-10 is the ratio you'll see, from like male players being 90% and maybe 10 players or 10% being like female. But that doesn't mean that a lot of girls out there still didn't grow up on the show, and I think that's what's possibly happening. And what's really cool is, and actually kind of shocking to me, these tattoos that you're looking at that these girls have, these are not like subtle tattoos at all. Like, these are ones that are just like boom, they are flamboyant, they are out there. Anytime they go to the beach, if they're in like a bikini or something, everybody on the beach is going to be able to see that thing and be like, it's not even a question of is she a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Like, if you have Monster Reborn tattooed on your entire back, or you've got Blue Eyes White Dragon just below your left ass cheek, you are definitely a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. And it makes me think that there are a lot of girls out there that grew up on the show. Maybe they tried the card game, maybe they didn't like it as much as actually just watching the show, but maybe they still watch the show for a really long time, and it's a really important thing in their life, because there are certain times where you may see somebody get like a spouse or a child's name tattooed on them. You might see like a boyfriend get his girlfriend's name tattooed before they get married, or just because they've been dating for a long time. But let's be real, guys, does anyone ever get like one of their spouse's hobbies tattooed on them? Like, that's not a real thing, right? Like, there's no girl ever that's going to get a tattoo because their boyfriend or their husband likes Yu-Gi-Oh. I have not heard of any such thing. So when you see these really big flamboyant tattoos, these girls are clearly into the game, whether they play the game competitively, whether they mess around just at locals, or whether they used to watch the anime or read the manga or something like that. It clearly tells you that they're into it. And I think that it's kind of crazy that we have such a high number of men playing the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, but the girls are coming out with the tattoos that are clearly outshining the guys. And I just thought that this was an interesting topic to kind of touch on, guys. What do you guys think of these tattoos? And I know there's gonna be a lot of people out there, oh, Cap G, why are you making this video? For one, I make videos on Yu-Gi-Oh topics, it's my job. And for two, if it's an interesting topic about Yu-Gi-Oh, whether it's Judge Judy presiding over Yu-Gi-Oh cases, $400,000 Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or a kid who finds a credit card and decides the first thing he's going to do is go buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards, chances are I'm going to cover. And I think I want to wrap this video up with a couple of questions. First off, if you were a guy and you met a girl who had a huge Yu-Gi-Oh tattoo and you found out, I don't know, maybe a couple of months after dating or something like that, and neither one of you guys knew that the other had previous experiences with Yu-Gi-Oh because it just wasn't a talking point, it just never came up, how would you feel about that? Because personally, I would be ecstatic. If I met a girl who had Exodia tattooed on her ass, I'd be like, yo, that is 100% wife material. And then the second one is a question that I think I've asked on this channel before. Would you consider getting a Yu-Gi-Oh tattoo of your own? Because man, there actually seems to be a lot of people with these tattoos. I've actually ran into people at like events and stuff like that, and they actually look really good, and obviously they show that you are a very big fan of the anime, the manga, just the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise in general. And if you would, what card would you get and where on your body would you get? I think most guys would probably get it on like their shoulder, their arm, maybe their chest or something like that. That's probably what I would expect. Anyways, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.